Hello, amazing entrepreneur. It's Tash Corbin here, and welcome to another episode of the Heart-Centered Business Podcast. This is episode number 132. So all the show notes are available for you at tashcorbin.com/132. And I have a special treat for you today. I was interviewing the amazing Miriam Castilla, and our conversation started off talking about the fear of success. And I invited Miriam along to the Heart-Centered Business Podcast to share some of her knowledge about manifesting, fear of success, other fears that show up during our entrepreneurial journey, and so much more. It's a really juicy conversation. I'm really excited to share it with you. I talk about Miriam's freebie on the podcast episode. You can find that with the show notes at tashcorbin.com/132. Let's get into it. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Spotlight series. I'm joined today by the fabulous Miriam Castilla. Hi Miriam.
Hi Tash, thanks for having me.
So excited. So do you want to tell everyone a little bit about your business and what it is that you do?
Okay, so I call myself an effectologist, which is something I totally had to make up. So what I do is I help women in business who want to build their businesses bigger, better, faster. And I do that by helping them marry the magical with the practical. So the women I work with have an understanding that there is this law of attraction, that we all have access to this, unseen metaphysical power, but they're also really practical, they're not into BS. So what I teach them is how to marry the two and really get traction so they can finally create that business and the life that they've been dreaming of.
So juicy. And why do you think this is particularly powerful for women in business?
Okay, so where I come from is that we all start a business, and we start out really excited because usually it's our baby, it's our passion, it's what we feel fantastic about. And what that means is then when we're starting, we're in this beautiful high-vibing place, we're really excited and everything just flows, it all starts to happen, we're talking to everybody, but then we get bogged down in the everyday of it. And then all of that, fear, worry, doubt starts kind of catching up and creeping in, and it then starts dragging you down. So to me, this is the work you've got to do up front so that you're equipped for staying in that high vibing place so that you can keep the flow going and have all the confidence in yourself and your systems that you can handle everything as it comes, and you know how to handle the doubts and the little glitches that'll inevitably happen along the way. Yep. So it's a way of actually keeping you on track and keeping the momentum going.
I love that. And I think that it's particularly like when you're in business, like they say, having a business is like the ultimate personal development journey. And, when you're in business, this is even, I think it's more magnified, like this requirement to stay high vibe, to overcome those mindset blocks. And even, there's a whole lot of talk around money blocks and specific areas where women, particularly in business, can struggle to stay on track, or they really struggle to have that confidence even to move forward. So really powerful stuff. So Miriam, what would it look like if someone didn't have this effectology, if they weren't able to overcome those blocks as they came up, if they weren't aligned to where they really wanted to be going? What kind of symptoms would we see if people didn't have this working?
Well, what basically ends up happening is that you go through this whole 2 steps forward, 1 step back process, and it's really hard work and it's tiring and draining. And the worst thing that can happen is that people give up or start thinking, well, maybe I'm just not cut out for it, doesn't work for me, and they just can't understand why it's not happening. So they might have some strategies, and they might also actually be really versed in law of attraction, but they can't quite figure out how to put the two together and get momentum going in a way where they can clear the blocks and obstacles as they come and just keep on track. And so it ends up looking like 2 steps forward, 1 step back, invested in the wrong program, spent too much money, not following through on it. Why am I not doing it? And you just keep self-sabotaging, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, I think I can recognize another symptom, and I wonder if this is why this is happening, is that I also see people who they think they have a great strategy, they start implementing it, they get the doubts about that strategy halfway through, so they go and find something else, and then they start implementing that, and they end up having like 30 half-baked strategies that they've never really followed through on any or mastered any of them, because it's all in between the ears, it's all that energetic alignment. There's just no belief or faith in their own ability to make the right decisions, or there's no trust that their strategy is going to come to fruition, or that they can see it through, and even if it doesn't work, at least they have then closed that off as an option for them.
Yeah, absolutely. That happens a lot. And it's exactly what you said. Like, they get stuck in their head, and it's all like just constantly thinking, churning through the mind. What about this? What about that? Maybe I did this wrong. Should I try that? And so they stop, start a million different things, blow a whole lot of money, waste a whole lot of time, and they get nowhere fast. And it is that lack of alignment, right? Because when you're energetically aligned, you make the right decisions because you're tuned in, and you know what feels right and you know what feels wrong. You know what's aligned with you, and you come across the right opportunities at the perfect time, and you just know, it clicks into place at that deep unconscious level, and you trust yourself and the process to bring you what you need at the right time, and then having the confidence and the systems in place on the practical side to actually follow through is what keeps you on track. And we had this really awesome conversation about fear of success the other day. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Which is what made us say, we have to record this for everybody else. So the fear of success, right? Everyone, a lot of motivational speakers and personal development coaches talk about, the biggest thing that'll stop you is fear of success. And I call BS, because really, are you really afraid of your business being wildly successful and having a spare $1 million cash in the bank, being able to choose, if you want to buy a holiday home or travel the world first class for a few months? Like, I don't think that's what we're afraid of. So it's not fear of success. What it actually is fear of what it takes to have the success, fear of not being up to speed, fear of not having the systems in place, fear of not being able to cope and to handle it, because most people have had that busy week or busy month, and they go, oh my God, it nearly killed me. I ignored my kids. The house was a mess.
Yeah.
How can I possibly do that again? So there's all this fear around that. Yeah. So that's a real fear around not having the practical processes and systems and strategies in place. So that's why I teach that alongside that magical how to leverage the universe and have it flowing in. Because if you don't know how to handle it when it's here, and that includes both yourself, your energy, and your money, if you've got all these blocks around, but I'm not very good with this, you're going to block it. And so you can be the best, law of attraction expert and still be unconsciously blocking stuff because you're scared, and you're not scared of the success. We all want that, but you're scared of what it's going to take to get there and what it means.
It's almost like it's this scared of the fear of the cost of success and then the consequence of success. So there's like those two parts, like what's it going to take to actually achieve it? And then what's it going to do to me once I'm there? So I know a lot of people have like a subconscious fear that when they become successful, they're all of a sudden going to neglect their families, or they're going to be a mean person. We have that like Cruella de Vil kind of image in our mind. And that's, that like negative consequence of success. It's not the success itself that we're afraid of.
No, I don't think most people are really afraid of having the extra money, the lack of financial stress, that doesn't seem to scare me very much. I don't know if anybody finds that frightening, but it's like, it's everything we attach to it.
Yeah.
And that comes down to, are we equipped to handle it? And also, can we clear all the things we've attached to this success thing? Like you say, some people are afraid that their friends won't like them anymore, or that their family will all come asking for money and stuff like that. So that's where I I bring in lots of hypnosis because I'm a hypnotherapist, and we clear all that stuff. So this is some of the resistance, that's sort of attached around it. And then there's the fear around the practical stuff, and all of that needs to be dealt with as well. So you can't just go, oh, I'll just manifest some more money, because if you've got all this other stuff going on, you're either blocking it, so then it only happens some of the time and you can't work out why, or you attract all this money and it just flows out the back door as quickly as it came in. Then you go, oh, I've got to manifest some more. And, I want people to manifest money and then know how to make it stick around and multiply.
Yeah. That would be really handy. Stay and have some babies.
Stay and have some babies. And then, it takes a lot of the pressure off. We're not constantly having to bring in more. And awesome. It makes perfect sense to me, but
I love it.
Like I say, I had to make up a word for it because no one seems to talk about this stuff.
Yeah, and I think also the reason why I find your work so much deeper and also so much broader is because it's not just the money side. It's not attracting money and taking great care of money, although you have an amazing course that just focuses down on that. But the bigger picture of what you do is also that alignment and that vision and the systems and business in general as well. So, I think it's really beautiful that you cover off all of that, because it all goes together so beautifully. And I really love the way that you do that. So, Miriam, if someone is sitting there thinking, oh my God, she's describing me, everything's hard, I make money in dribs and drabs and then it disappears, what are some of the steps that they can take to start on this journey of effectology?
Okay, so the first step really is to work out where you're at right now. So everyone comes from a slightly different angle. Some people are already really clear on what they're all about, what their purpose is, because that's ultimately your driving force behind it. Some people already have some really good systems in place and they just need to actually get better at the manifesting. So I kind of bring these three things together really. And so I have a quiz, and that's probably the best place for anyone to start, because the quiz will let you know what your main focus area should be to begin with. And, this is, for example, why I teach a money course, because for a lot of people, it's like, just get this money thing sorted and everything will be right. And the thing is, then the money thing gets sorted and they go, actually, I can't eat the money. I don't sleep with the money. I don't have conversations with the money. I just want a really great life, but when you're caught up in the midst of it, you don't realize it. So I've got this lovely quiz, which takes, just a few minutes, and it just lets you know where to begin. So it then gives you your power word, which will be your focus, gives you some power questions to really get you started thinking about what your next steps will be. And it gives you the perfect resource to get you going on your journey from wherever you are, so that you can have that holistic picture at the end. But everyone's got to start from where they're at now, right?
Gorgeous. So if anyone would like to find that freebie, that quiz of Miriam's, just go to tashcorbin.com/freebies, FREEBIES, and you'll see Miriam's smiling face there, and you click the link and it'll take you over to her quiz. You'll also find the link in our show notes for this episode. So head over to tashcorbin.com. You'll be able to find it, and we will sort you out with that fabulous quiz of Miriam's. So Miriam, for those people who really resonated with that fear of success, do you have any advice that you would give them about, they might have been walking around labeling this as a fear of success for the last few years and going, oh, it's this fear of success thing that just keeps coming up for me. How can they maybe reframe it or start moving in the right direction if that's something that they've kind of been stuck on for a while?
Okay, so I think, it comes down to going, okay, I'm not really scared of the success. I'm scared of what I'm making it mean or what it means to me. So then I think it would be a matter of start, first of all, looking at, well, am I afraid that I'm not willing or able to do what it takes to have the success? Is it, how hard will I have to work and I'm not up to it? And if that's the case, you really have to start looking at, how do you manage your time? How do you manage your systems? How well do you manage your money? Look at all those practical things, because the confidence that that's all set up and good to go, and that you can manage more coming in easily and effortlessly, that's what's going to release all that resistance and let more flow to you. So have a look and see, is it is it that stuff? Like, am I scared that I'm not going to be able to cope? Or am I scared of like the ultimate beyond the success and what that's going to mean in terms of, people's reactions and so on? And if it's that stuff, then you've got to go a little bit deeper into your unconscious. So, I do hypnosis with people one-on-one, but do journaling, do tapping, like really explore it. Spend some time diving deep and going, where do these ideas come from? And are they even true? Just that little bit of self-awareness actually goes a really long way towards releasing that stuff.
Yeah.
Because most of the time we push it away, which actually enforces it. So just opening up to it and going, okay, what's all that about? And is it even true? And what if it wasn't true? Ask yourself these sorts of questions and you'd be amazed how much you can shift.
Yeah, beautiful. And can I just say, I just love you so much right now, because you started with the, like, sort out your systems and the practical stuff first. Like, it's not like write down your vision of where you want to be and meditate on that for 3 months and then da-da-da. Like, it's so practical. And it really gorgeously, I think, addresses both sides. And I love that about the way that you work. When I first started my business, I got a bookkeeper before I had made a cent, because I knew I was afraid of tax. And that was just like, it was just like this weird thing. My dad got chased down by the taxman several times. And I knew in my heart of hearts that if I didn't have every little piece of money accounted for and everything under control, that I wouldn't attract it in. I just would be so scared of getting money. So, it can sometimes come down to something really practical. And then, as you said, it can then also be part of that bigger stuff, that deeper stuff about what will this turn me into, or who will I become, or how will other people react to me, or, those sorts of, like, the fear of the unknown quantity of what will happen when you hit that success, or, that goal that you're going for. So I'm really appreciative that there's so much practicality to what it is that you teach and how you work with people, as well as that really deep mindset stuff as well. So thank you so much for that. So we've got people sorted out with their freebie. We've got people understanding that their fear of success may not actually be fear of success. We understand this effectology part of the way that you work around purpose, having the right systems, and then the money and the manifesting. So if I was to just have one quote about, like, Miriam Castilla said this, what would that quote be?
My favorite quote is always, and I say this a lot, it's the little things that make the big difference, right? And every time I teach, like, people try to make things big and complicated and scary, but it's actually just the little things done consistently that change your life. Yeah. It really is. So don't freak out going, I've got to do a million huge things, and, no, just start changing one thing. Yep. Get a bookkeeper if you're scared of money. And it's really good to pay your tax on a practical level too, because it stops you from going to jail. Plus it helps you manifest more money, because you're not going to have all this fear blocking you. So just little steps, and do it consistently. Do one thing, do it really well, then add another thing. And don't ever underestimate the power of that, because life is nothing but a series of little steps. That's it.
You gave me goosebumps when you said that. That was just so perfect. I love it. Thank you so much for joining me on the Spotlight series, Miriam. This has been so awesome. And as I said, everyone, if you want to check out the show notes or go to tashcorbin.com/freebies, you'll be able to jump in and do Miriam's quiz, and you can stalk her to your heart's content from there. Thanks so much, everyone, for joining us. Until next time, I've been Tash Corbin. This is Miriam Castilla, and we cannot wait to see you shine. Bye.